Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's look at SBL pre-scene. Welcome to SPM. Today we'll be carrying out a dissection. Why I call it a dissection? Because pre-scene will be the one that will set the stage for your exam. And remember, the entire material which is given to you is very important. You cannot skip even a line. So what we will be doing, we will be carrying out a pure reading of this material first, because reading will set the stage for your identifying which areas you need to focus on. You have covered the syllabus so far, you have understood the models, and very bright students sitting here, they told me they know all the models, so we'll be sharing all those models with you as well. Pre-scene, why it is called a pre-scene? Because something which is going to happen in the future, so it's a snapshot or the beginning of it. It's the epilogue of a story, it's the preface of a story. Remember this thing, when you started preparing for this paper is all about how a strategy is formulated. And when a strategy is formulated, the strategy moves from an initial stage to the final stage, and it progresses through multiple stages. That's what we will be looking into the main framework of our strategic business leader. The word leader at the end reflects that you will be given a role to make a decision, to carry out a task, to pass on some communication, or to do some analysis. Remember, it is not an ordinary paper, it's an analysis paper. And as I look at this paper internationally is tested on various platforms like ICW, SEMA, even at other platforms of the accounting and finance as well. So this means that you need to understand there is an importance of applying theoretical knowledge along with the practical aspect, which will be covered in your case study. Now the case study, if we ask ourselves what is a case study? Case study is basically an industry situation in which your organization will be placed. So there will be a bigger snapshot of an industry, and within that there will be an organization. So this organization will be your test focus. As I used to say, you have to have understanding of two things, like convergence of your subject and divergence of a subject. Once you look at the main theme of this case, you see the entire syllabus is now convergent on this particular industry and the organization that is being referred there. From there, you will be required to diverge into the various other aspects of the syllabus, which may not be directly associated with the case, but they are as important as the main subject at hand is. If I say where to start from, you always start with the fact that pre-scene is the stage staging. It will be telling you what will be the exam questions, what will be the theme of the questions, what will be the baseline upon which you will be tested. It's a guide for preparation. Now what you can do, you can put your syllabus on one side, you can put your case on the one side, and you can do the matchmaking. You will be able to say, okay, this is what I need to focus on, this is what it is related to, this is something which is critical in answering the questions. It is a convergent from the main topic, it's a divergent to the similar skills, the skills through which you will be required to, you will be asked to make a particular decision or solve a problem or to handle a situation in which something occurs. Remember, let's look at the scenario. Here is the pre-scene, you have studied that. You matched it with your syllabus, now the post-scene or the paper day material. Everything has to be connected. This connection is what we are saying is a strategic alignment. So, if you look at the post-scene way of analyzing it, I say go simply. Look at the case, take a printout, or even if it is in your mobile phone or your laptop, electronically, just give a look at it. Skimming, go through all the pages. What's in it? Right? Skimming is what's in it? Okay, this is about this, this is about this. Scanning, what is the main topic? What is the main? Go through the entire material and stop for a while on a material which is of your interest. Then read it out. Read it very carefully. Take your notes. How to take the notes? That is very important. Mind mapping. You cannot do the linear form of the notes taking. Notes taking in a linear form is going to lead you, or it's going to make things complex. Always do the mind mapping. Remember this thing, whenever there is a case in front of you, you think you understand, but you will not be able to retain it. Retention is the main key, because once you will read the pre-scene, you will be saying what to do with it. It has to be in your mind. It has to be something that is triggering, okay, I need to focus on these models. We will be doing the construction of the mind maps. Then very important, that is a strategic alignment. You must have studied this strategic course of action, where we were, where we are, where we want to be, and how to go there, going to get there. This is a streamline of a strategic alignment. This pre-scene is basically where we are. And the post-scene is something that will require you to say where we want to go and how to go there. So you will be using the models. You will be mapping out all the models. Now, let's say, I've been saying model. What is a model? Examiner may not specify the model, but you have to be very wise enough to judge what the model is. When the examiner is saying the macro environment is changing, the variables which can affect your strategy, that is a pastel analysis. A macro environment is a pastel analysis. Variables which affect your strategy positively or negatively. And most of the time, these variables are not within your control. So there you say it's a pastel analysis. Now, the examiner gives you a situation in which your organization was operating, and all of a sudden there are other operators who have jumped into the organization. He says which market force is going to be very crucial for you. Here you need to apply Porter 5 forces. Once going to get there is in your mind, so examiner might be required to put a pressure on your mind in order to give a strategic course of action. So those are the Porter 3 strategies. Remember, generically speaking, a tool or a model should never be specified. It should be the overall context where that model is applied and how to get the job done, how to write the good contents with respect to the context of the case. Okay, this is the second thing. Remember, you will get the maximum marks by relating the contents with the context. If you ever misalign your context with the contents, you will not get the marks. Like, let me give you the example. A threat of a new entrant, one of the forces of the Michael Porter's 5 forces, if you start overemphasizing in theoretical terms, what is this threat and how to lock out this threat, this is just the content. Remember, no matter how you write on the content, you will not be able to get the marks, because examiner is not asking for explanation of the model. It is the application of the model. So what do you have to do? You have to see your content, you understand the contents of the model, then you have to apply it. In context of this organization, they have this much market share, their brand is good, their market placement is good, they have a reputation among customers, so the new entrant is going to make a bit of a problem with the innovation or the technology or some sort of a management approach. This is applying the model in context to something. So content of the model and the context of the case combined together will give you maximum marks. This is what you have to do. Content plus context is equal to success. Just remember this thing. Okay. Now what we will be doing, we'll be going through this one by one. But if I say you take up your entire case, let me switch to the now first the pre-scene which is here, which is given to you. I'm sure everyone has the pre-scene material with them. Now, let me blow that screen for you. It will be there in a while. I think I am doing this wrong clicking. Okay, this. Let me do this. Now you have something on the screen which is the material. So you see, this will be your roadmap. This will be the entire game plan. Now looking at the contents, remember it's the contents of the context. Remember the content of the context, the case which is being given to you. Here you will be given about the organization, an introduction, and referring to the industry that it belongs to, the cloud services industry, and then onwards it will be giving you all the modalities related to the product, processes, functions, and of course the performance related area of KPIs or its challenges that they have to face and that particular area in which it is operating. Then there will be an organization detailed discussion. So once you jump into this will be the starting point. Now, I'm going back and forth. If you go back to your syllabus and if you look at the syllabus, which area this will be? This will be the area of, if you look at the syllabus, you have got A, leadership, right? B, if I show you, let me show you your syllabus as well. Let me close it. Let me open this. These are the three things you must have. You must have your syllabus with you and the basic syllabus areas which we will be mapping, right? This is what I say. Okay, this is the first page. All right, let me. Here you see, your first one is a leadership. This case is nothing to do with the leadership, but it will bring some topics with the leadership as well. Governance, yes, it is mentioning some sort of a governance structure, but the focus, the baseline is neither the strategy nor the governance leadership, neither the risk, it is the E. If you look at E in detail, the entire case is about technology and data analyses. So if you look at this, it's about cloud services, cloud computing, the mobile and smart technologies, big data and data analytics, machine learning, e-business, and IT system security and control. Now, this is your convergence. This is the center point, this is the nucleus. All the subjects have to converge on it. This is what is mentioned in your pre-scene. If you look at the pre-scene, right, straight away it says NC Tech, a name of an entity. When I say entity, now a bell must ring in your mind. Is this entity a private limited or a public limited, or what kind of an entity is this? Is it an entity which is a listed company? So it's an entity which is well known, so it has got a good reputation. A cloud services company operating in the far land. First half line is good enough for you to focus. It's an IT company, and the syllabus portion which is connected to me is your this. Back and forth, go back and forth while your preparation. Don't be scared to draw the lines. It's a one-to-one matching. Once you've done the one-to-one matching, you will be good enough to judge what the examiner is going to place there in front of you when it is going to be there in the form of a official paper. So it's an EdTech company which is operating in the far land, a developed country. When it says a developed country, the economic parameters should be in your mind. A developed country's economic parameters, the demand and supply, the inflation, or the buying power of the people, its competition as well, taxation perspectives and other perspectives should be clearly in your mind, which is the home to many technology companies. If I keep on moving toward this, what will happen? I'll be able to see, okay, it was founded. I'll be able to see the foundation structure, right? So it was founded by 3 people, and the company still, its structure is not known. Entech has grown dramatically during the 10 years. The 3 founding owners remain fully committed to the business and they currently hold the position of the chief executive officer, now the positions. They were first the entrepreneurs who started the business. Now one of them is a CEO, the another one is a commercial director, and the other one is the operational director. But as we move on, we see this company is now carrying a pattern of the shareholding. Once a company holds the pattern of shareholding, this means it is a public limited company, right? So here comes the another big area of your syllabus. The syllabus area is what? Governance. Remember, governance is the key to knowing how this organization is going to sustain its position in terms of operations, profitability, compliances. If governance is there, then what should be in mind? Which law is applicable? Either the OECD, if it is going working in a non-American environment, or New York Stock Exchange categorically says all listed companies should follow the SOX. So you have to see there are competing laws. One is the SOX, one is the OECD. So we'll be able to see which law is applicable on agency theory, stakeholder analyses, then the governance, reporting, the board of directors in the public sector. As you move along in your pre-scene, you see the industry overview. Now there is a bigger chunk away from the organization toward the industry. The industry has been put in terms of its services that is giving. It is an internet, cloud-based, and how the organization regulates it, what is the FALAN modalities through which this company is operating, and the data or the percentage of the various statistics related to your client data storage in the global context and the far land context. Total revenue, global and the far land. Top 10 cloud companies, their share in the market, in the global market, and the far land company. Remember, at this time, we are not going to do any kind of a hard statistics. We are not doing it statistics, we're just developing a sketch of the pre-scene in our mind. Once the sketch is there, you do any kind of analysis that will take us into the depth and the breadth. Okay, how many cloud services that there? Oh my God, these are the names that might scare you. IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. This is the infrastructure, the platform, or the software skimming. We will do that in detail. Now comes to the various aspects of provision of the data services in detail, what these services are catering. Then the cloud service delivery in 3 modes: public, private, and the hybrid. We will chalk out that in detail. Benefits, what are the benefits of the cloud services to the clients? Then cloud service industry challenges and developments in the far land. Cloud services innovation, the business intelligence, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning. KPIs related to your operations and the finance are given. This is what I'm doing a skimming and something is coming to my mind. Okay, what is this about? Now the Entech, its background, its operations, its ownership, its current form, its mission, vision. Then you will be able to see the very important related to the governance, that is the board structure, how many NEDs are there, how many EDs are there, and the various board committees comprising of the EDs, NEDs, and there is a risk register. Then there are competitive threats. Okay, it is mentioning some sort of a threats, concerns, technological issues, data security. This is all about the risk register. The current position is mentioning the strength and the weaknesses. Charts, very important. Remember, the charts from 2001 to 2003, whatever the years are given, remember it is giving you the form of a trend. There is a revenue, there is a gross profit, there is a profit before tax, return on the capital employed, and you got operational performances related to the reported security breaches, services, clients, and the fund. What we have done, we have simply given a first look at the pre-scene, that is skimming, or a couple of things that we went in details. We might have done parallelly the skimming and the scanning. But the scanning is again very important. Go straight to the area which is your stronger point. Like you say governance is my stronger point, I'll go to governance and I'll do the detailed study of this governance. Once you say, okay, risk is my factor, go to the risk. Then there is, you say, the board structure or the ownership. I want to know about the entity. I want to know about some sort of technology. So go to the technology. Whatever are your strong areas, through scanning, go to that particular area and try to get the maximum information. You have done your skimming, you have done your scanning. Now it's time to sit down and do the comprehensive reading. Do the reading, do the reading, do the reading. But what to do with it? As a student of a research, I always say, whenever you're doing the reading, you should do some sort of a fixation that remains with you forever. There is a big tool which we use. It is known as a mind mapping. My lovely students, they have done this. Let me show it to you. My students have made some brain maps. It's a brain map. I'm sure you will not be able to see it on the camera, but I'll give you the copy of this somewhere in the link. A brain map is what? There's a central concept. There's a central concept and there are the associated concepts. Whose handwriting is this, by the way? Is this your hand? Oh my God, this is your handwriting. Okay, fine. Can you read it? No, okay. Even I can't read it. No problem with that. Reading, no. Everyone's brain map has to be his or hers. It is not supposed to be anybody's. Because you make it for yourself. It is something that will help you to keep things in your mind. So the lady here has done a beautiful analysis of the industry. She was reading the industry and she came up with industry services, right? There are services, there is a hybrid cloud, there is a blah blah cloud, there is a blah blah cloud, there's a public cloud, there's a private cloud, and there is a hybrid cloud. So all the details in the brain map. So now don't worry about this thing. This is what we'll be doing it later. All right, here's this is mine. Come on, I write like a doctor. Even I can't understand this kind of a prescription. Right? Challenges to the parlance, there's a pastel analysis, there's the innovation, and all the dots are telling me these are the details. All right, then I've got the NTech. This is again one of the gentlemen who has brought a cloud to, okay, this is a brain map. Lovely. Covering all the risks, SWOT analysis, the committees, and 3 owners. There, it has been 10 years and what kind of services they are giving. Done. Once you have made this, which in one of the videos we will try through a software to create a brain map, right? We will do that because it will be useful for the आपके उनके लिए किसके लिए for understanding how to develop. Once you've done this, remember, this is the high point of pre-scene analysis. You have read it, you have created the brain map, now you stand at a confidence level where you say, I know what the pre-scene is about. So what is answered here? Now, why he has given us this industry? What will be the new questions that will be raised? So here you will be doing this. This is your syllabus, right? It is there in detail, but I'm saying the contents. We will be doing one-to-one matching, right? One-to-one matching will be done here, right here in front of you with the help of my students as well. Now kids, tell me, which was the main area when it came to, okay, this is one. All right. If I say we are going to address the governance and tech, what did they showed in this case? What was the information given in the case? There's an organization chart of the NTech. Huh? Is it? Is it there? There's an organization chart. So we are saying NC Tech. It is NC Tech. NC Tech. They have given us the NC Tech organogram. Organo was given and its committees, right? So we have got board committees. Once you've got the organo and the NTech, where would you connect? Agency. So all you have to do is to pick up, I would say, what? Insert, pick up what? Pick up what? Pick up a shape, an arrow. Where's this broader arrows? Take this arrow and draw it here. So this is connected with this. Now, once you fill up this is known as a mapping. We have done the mapping on a strategic course of action. We can do it after that. We will be doing it one by one. So, NTech organization gram or the organization chart and the board committees are connected with the governance areas. Okay, who will tell me what are the various risks? They have given us some information in the risk. What is that? A risk register, remember? Huh? Risk register. Should I connect it with what? Anyone? Students? Please, please, please. Huh? All right. Control T. Let me bring it down. Risco. I'll be connecting it. All right. I have connected my. There you go. The risk register is connected with the risk factor. Now, is there a correlation between this as well? Yes, the NEDs. How many NEDs are there? How many EDs are there? And if those NEDs are ineffective, the board structure will become a rubber stamp board, EDs will be more influential, and NEDs will not be able to carry out the monitoring. So this means there is a bigger governance risk as well. A failure of the governance in this as well, because it will be doing all in terms of what they want rather than what is good for the institutional investors. Remember, there is a mentioning of the shareholding pattern of the NC Tech in which there are many institutional investors as well. And those institutional investors are very powerful because they are sitting there to judge whether the organization strategies are in the favor of their investment or not. Even if they feel the slightest of the strategy is going away from their interest, they will not be giving a go-ahead with that strategy. So NEDs are the eyes and ears of the institutional investors. So there's no insider dealing, insiderization, or a agency problem, as we used to say. Agency problem occurs when owners do not give credit or regard to any of the other stakeholders' interests. Okay, once we have done this mapping, now in detail you're sure which area you need to focus. Because tomorrow or in the next session we will be developing the questions, we will be developing our understanding on the fact what is really important in terms of our case. That is a pre-scene which is setting the stage for our understanding. And moreover, there is a bigger model as well. This model is a strategic alignment model. Strategic alignment is where we were, where we are, and in between the portion which will cover how these models are going to be applied on the case. Remember, application of the model is very important, which we will be doing it with respect to what? A strategic alignment. Let's do that. G students, what should I be doing? What is that strategic model that I said is going to be important? Huh? Strategic alignment wala model kya tha? What was that? Remember? Remember? Yes, where we are, where we want to be going to get there. Simple as that. Don't you remember that? Let me insert a table. Where we are, where we were, where we are, where we going to get there, where we want to be, and what? All right, ordered, that is where we went wrong. Let me write it for you. Where we were, where we are going to get there, then where we want to be, and where we went wrong. This will help us to understand the various subject matter and their application of the tools. Okay, now one by one. You say that there is no information related to where we were. This pre-scene and the post-scene will become where we were. So we jump to where we are. Yes, 1 point each. Can you tell me, repeat that please? Where we are? All right, it's a listed company. Listed company. So what we have to do? Going to get there. Do we have to consider OECD? So this means we have to have the understanding OECD application. The governance issues will be the main problem. Next. Huh? All right, undifferentiated services. Undifferentiated services. What we need to do with for that? Huh? What we need to do for that? Yes, you have to do some product differentiation. Product, I'll write differentiation. Then what? What, please? All right. I will say the board structure or the role of NEDs, right? The role of NEDs. What should we be focusing here? That is again OECD. Then, where do you see the environmental factor coming in? That is how the NC Tech is operating in a government or with the product or the market. So, NC Tech Ops, NC Tech Ops through PESTEL. I write this PESTEL because now there are more variables. PESTEL. And what else? All right. All right. We are saying the market share. What should we be looking through? What kind of a model will be able to help us to understand the market share? We should not be worried about the BCG. When the post-scene information erupts, there might be another player, but it will not affect us because we are looking at the product portfolio. So, what? Porter 5 forces. What else? We need to revise our strategy. How this strategy will be revised? Porter 3 strategies. Strategy. How to revise the strategy through? All right. You're saying Porter 3 strategies. What else? Oh, we are facing a risk, don't we? So we need to focus on the mitigating the risk as well. So if there is a risk, there will be a concept of the TARA framework, TARA framework, right? What else? Yes, obviously the NC Tech need to look at its own capabilities and capacities. As one of the very bright students told us, there are unique competencies and there are threshold competencies. Well, there are, right? So we will be looking at organization competence. Hmm? What did you say? What will we be applying here? SWOT. Thank you very much. So SWOT analysis will be applied. Think of something else, please. If now this is nothing to do with like our understanding of how well we know these models. This is something mapping where we are and how these models will help us to understand where we want to be with respect to the post scene. Gee, anything else? Anything? Any other model that we wrote? Huh? Now, oh yes, we need to understand somewhere that from a private company to the public company, the organization NC Tech has changed. So, is there any cultural aspects? So, Johnson and Schultz, cultural web, good enough to map it out with a view. We are standing at a point where pre-scene is within our grasp. It is not scaring us. It is no more a scary material, and we do not have a question in our mind what to do with it. Now we know this is what we are going to do, and this is what we are going to handle. So remember, this where we were, where we are going to get there, where we want to be, and where we went wrong is simply a matter of your structuring of the pre-scene and the post-scene. It has nothing to do with memorizing what it is. It has nothing to do with a generic way of understanding the syllabus contents. Okay. Now, this is again, if I show you what we have done so far, we have looked into the pre-scene details with respect to our brain maps, with respect to the syllabus, aligning the syllabus, and then putting it in the strategic framework. And this is what you will be required to handle in the post scene. Either you will be writing a report, writing a memo, writing a press release, which we'll do it in the next session. Okay, I turn it off for a while and